So what are we doing today? We're looking at nature. The trees look like they're chandeliers. And I'm sure this is no big phenomena, those of you in colder country, but it's always pretty interesting to those of us that aren't accustomed to it as much. I always thought the fence always looks really neat where all the icicles are collected on it. But doesn't that look pretty with the icicles hanging from the barbed wire and the field fencing? I just think that looks pretty neat myself. We don't get a glimpse of this that often here in Texas. After all, we're in a climate change, I believe. So that's the exit out of the Rockin' Barbie Ranch. I left the gate open just in case the solar panel wasn't able to open the gate. I haven't never had that problem, but I have had the problem where the water gets into a wire and the touchpad doesn't work. The remote will, but I didn't want to risk it, so I just left it open in case I needed to get out with the vehicle. Not that I really want to get out with a vehicle because our roads, like I said, aren't really cleared, and my neighbor down the street told me that they were the tail of their pickup truck was wagging over a bridge and they managed to save their vehicle, but the vehicle behind them did the same thing and went into the railing. So it's best just not to go out if you don't have to. So while I'm in the barn, I thought I'd show you my high-tech recycling, which consists of a feed bag full of aluminum and a feed bag full of tin cans. I actually earn enough to buy chicks, so it's kind of my mad money. So speaking of chicks, I just wanted to show a basic idea of what to have just to get started. So I use this trough that has holes in the top of it, and then I pack it with hay or even dried leaves. Whatever's free works. I've done both. And then because I have such a predator problem, I take a pallet and I have it covered in hardware cloth. And believe it or not, I've had a raccoon chew through hardware cloth to get at something. But I also weigh this down with heavy stuff so that they can't forcibly lift it up off the trough. Tried to relocate the raccoons, and they come back. If you can move them like 7 miles away, and these raccoons will come back. And the reason why I know this is I actually spray painted one of them, took them out like 5 miles, and it came back. So unless you're going to drive it about 20 miles away, you pretty much have to dispatch the animals. They just become ridiculous. Now, if you have a dog, you probably won't have that kind of problem. Because dogs usually ward off the raccoons, although a raccoon can kill a dog in water. And my dog gave a pretty good fight. It was a German Shepherd, and there was fur pulled out above her shoulders in both places, down to the skin, right where you could see the capillaries. So she actually got rid of the raccoon, but it was a battle, I could tell. So along with the trough and a way to put a lid on the trough, you'll also need some heat source. So I do use a heating lamp, and there is a potential for a fire danger, and if you're concerned about that, you can use like a heating pad that's made for either pets or plants, and that's one way to do it. And this is a water, and I don't use this for my chicks. I just place a small little plastic water that I change often, but this works where they peck at it in their beaks, but it's too big to hang from the pallet. It would just, it'd be cumbersome because I change their bedding quite often. The red tray is what I use now, preferentially over the metal trays, because they tend to get really dirty and they're hard to clean. And this water, it's just a real simple, small water, but the chicks can get in it and out of it. And that's what I use. I just place it down. I just have to make sure my trough is level so the water doesn't run out, because it's gravity fed. So if it's at all not level, the water will drip out of the bottom plate. So it's a pretty simple setup. You just need a trough, something over the trough, bedding in the trough, a heat source if it's cold out. I mean, if it's warm and you have your chicks during the summer, you don't even really need to do that. And some water, and some chick feed in your chick feeder, and that's all you really need. So it's pretty simple to get them going, and I leave them in there until their secondary feathers come in, and then at that point I move them into the chicken house so they can get acquainted with their new home, their new permanent home. So that's just an introduction of what supplies you need when you're preparing to get chicks. I'll leave you with a shot of the picnic table in hopes that you'll give me the thumbs up, maybe subscribe if you got any information that you liked out of this video. Anyway, stay warm and have a good day. Bye.